Okay, everybody, here we are, NS345 ship handling. This is the pre-welcome, and you are welcome also into my kitchen. And this is the studio at home for me, and so let's just jump into it. Ship handling, NS345. We've got sections, we've got classes on Mondays and Wednesdays. And Mondays are going to be face-to-face. They're going to be face-to-face, and they're going to be down in Payson Hall in the classroom known as 202. I believe that's the number. And that's the tiered lecture hall with the fixed seats down in Payson, just across from sort of the very near the seamanship lab and so on and so forth. So that's that. And the second meeting of the class is going to be online. I'll be delivering it from, as I like to call this, Studio Pushaw, because I live on Pushaw Lake. I'll give you a little quick view of a beautiful day on the lake. Right now it is Thursday, August, let me check that. That's August 13th. And yeah, so here we go. So we have a class, it's coming along, it's going to be face-to-face, so on and so forth, and we're going to be doing some of the classes here. Now, they're going to be a class which is called asynchronous. In other words, you don't have to watch them live. You don't have to, I don't have to have that interaction with you, because I'll see you on Mondays. So on the Wednesday sections, you can watch them anytime, Wednesday or Thursday. Don't let that stretch out too far. Be very, very careful. Let's treat that really as the time that you're supposed to check in on that Wednesday, because there's a certain flow to all of this. Let's see. I'll publish everything on Canvas. I'm going to make a lot of use of Canvas announcements. I'll use discussions in Canvas. I'll have some going back and forth. We'll be doing quizzes and assessments. Now the assessments are going to be, we're going to do some of the assessments in class, face-to-face, and I'm going to do some assessments which are going to be on those Wednesdays sessions when they'll be due sort of as an online assessment using the Canvas test instrument. Now, some of you have had me in class. If you did ship structure last year, I know there's a couple of people who jumped ahead and are doing this. Usually this is a junior level class, but I know people jump ahead. I know there's people, might have had you in nautical science. I might have had there's a bunch of you I've had in ENAV lab and taught you how to do radar plotting. And by the way, that was just a fun class. And to that, what is that, 16 of you who I had in ENAV lab. And that was a great class. And ship structure last year and other years. So I'm looking forward to it. So this is just me talking. I'll have the PowerPoint here. And, I think I'm pretty good doing this stuff. And I'm going to publish it on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching this through a YouTube link. I'll publish it and push it out on YouTube. I'm going to say this a lot to you, I really need your feedback. If you don't like something, or it's not working, or just what you can't understand what I'm saying, or the volume, whatever it might be, man, you got to give me some feedback. But if you do like it, I don't get to so really to see your faces. So it's really helpful to me if while I'm being helpful to you, you can give me that feedback coming my way as YouTube comments. And I can't see who's watching the YouTube videos, but I can tell how many of you are accessing it and when and how much time that you're seeing it for. What else? Let me show you something else we can do. And this maybe some of your other professors did this, and let's see what we got here. Going to take a little pause. So the other thing that I can do is I got a camera that shoots down, and I use, here I've got a notebook. I've got the calendar. This is just my home calendar here, and there's where classes start on the 31st. And so we go on to the 31st, and there's there's the 31st, and there's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and then we go into, there's the week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9, and we're going, of course, you all know this, week 10, 11, and then we're doing 12. And so the last day of class for you will actually be the Wednesday the 18th, and that'll be an online class, and there'll probably be an assessment that day. Go back to assessments for a minute. I don't know if you can see this on the calendar, and I'll get this out in a better form, but you'll see that there's a mark right here, and that says A with a circle around it, and that is an assessment. So that's going to be the third Monday that we meet in class on planning and assessment. So every third Monday, 1, 2, 3, and then there's an assessment, 1, 2, 3, then there's an assessment, 1, 2, 3, there's an assessment, and 1, 2, 3. And then that'll be the on face-to-face assessments. It won't be the whole class period. And then there'll be some other assessments following those on that Wednesday or the Wednesday after. So that's the way that's going to work. I like to use these papers, by the way, because, we're going to want to be doing notes. So, NS345, and I'll be writing stuff. So I won't have a chalk or a whiteboard to work on, but, I can do this, and this works pretty well. We can do, so here we got a vessel sitting at the dock, and we got some lines down, and we got a tugboat, coming alongside. We put some fenders on it. There's the house here, and it's running lines up in various ways, and we're going up, and we're going with different types of tie-ups, and so we're working the boat. Maybe there's a tugboat here as well, sort of bow in. Here's the propellers down here, and it's running up a line there and there. So we can talk about all different kinds of stuff just by simply illustrating it. I think many of you know that I really like to do board work, and I think it's helpful to you, and so we will continue to do that. My goal, by the way, is to be just incredibly organized. Incredibly organized. That's what you need. So I'm going to see you in class. You'll have more stuff coming. I'll activate Canvas. I'll push stuff out to you. I'm going to switch my camera back now to looking at me and come off this board. And let me just take another short break. Well, this is what I have to, when I leave here, I leave this. And this is just looking out my front windows. There's the dog, and there's some of my family and friends out there on the floaty toys doing stuff. And we got the dock and the boat and the toys. And this is a town called Glenburn, Maine. The lake is Pushaw Lake. Looking across the water there, that's about less than a mile across, and that is the town of Old Town. And y'all all know where Old Town is. And so it's been pretty dry here. And we'll look down this way, and it's got about 100 feet of shoreline. And this is where I live. I'm going to kind of give you a clue. Pan through the house. There's a painting of old Port Clyde, Maine. Some of you will know that, and you've seen that. And old ship's clock that I have. And here's looking through the house. Here's a question for you, and this is a pretty famous lighthouse in the Rockland area, and I'm going to ask that you, as your first assignment, to let me know that you did this. When you respond, make a comment in YouTube, and see if you can figure out where that lighthouse is. By the way, that watercolor was painted by my grandfather, so come back, and there's a picture of my mom, and so on and so forth. Let's see, we'll drop down. There's the kitchen, and it's pretty tight little house. Not a tiny house. It's a 26-foot square, and there's an upstairs too. That's not a real, well, it is a real gun, but it's an old Civil War gun that belonged in my family. And so when I look at it, I even got a ship mark. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so I'm going to pause there. Okay, well, cheers to everybody. Looking forward to meeting you, and re-meeting you and seeing you, Ben, when we get back to school. And we'll be doing all the same protocols that you're doing. We're being tested, and we're going to do this, and I'll tell you what, there's been an awful lot of work done by the various people at the school, the different teachers, and everybody's been pulling together. So it's a really good process, and we'll do this. So, hey, answer the question about that lighthouse. Tell me what it was. Respond and there's always a little extra credit, and when you respond, I keep track of that stuff. So here's your first extra credit assignment. Search out what lighthouse is that down in the Rockland area. You probably can find a picture of it, and figure out which one it is. I think I got it. So we'll talk to you later. Adios.